What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best Dune Awakening tier list with all the new classes. So, this game has a lot of unique classes and setups to play, and we have a wide variety to choose from, but the big question is, what class is the best and can do the highest damage possible and much more. So, I've done a bunch of testing and these are the results. And a quick disclaimer that this is my personal opinion on which class performs the best. There are several builds available for each category, and each setup impacts the performance and could slightly affect the tier list. And that's why 10 out of 10 times I would always choose to play with a better player and not a better class. But if you're still interested in the meta and the pure performance numbers, then here they are. And before we continue, thanks to the Time Saver, their pro website that provides Dune Awakening boosting, custom-based building, all types of items and the currency, with a cheap price and fast delivery. They also have over 4.9 stars on Trustpilot, and this website is really worth a try. So click my link in the description to check them out. So, for the first C-tier class we have the Bene gesserit. These are not very powerful fighters, but don't underestimate them, as they're among the most dangerous manipulators in the Dune universe. With a deep training in the psychological warfare, body control and the political manipulation, they will bring a unique playstyle. This is the class for players who love outsmarting their enemies and controlling the battlefield. Their starting ability is Voice Compel, which is a small but powerful move that uses infamous voice technique to force enemies to act against their will. For example, you can command an enemy to walk towards you, which effectively will break their cover and you can easily kill them. This is an amazing tool for pulling snipers out of hiding, or perhaps leading targets into the trap. The Bene gesserit also have enhanced dodge mechanics, allowing them to evade attacks with uncanny grace. As you develop your character, you will gain access to more powerful versions of the voice, physic recognition for anticipating enemy moves, and the body control enhancements that make you immune to certain environmental effects. Overall, this class excels in one-on-one engagements, political intrigue missions, and the stealth-based objectives. They're not tanks or DPS machines, but they will turn fights into their favor with the timing and finesse. And if you like outthinking rather than outpunching, then he's the perfect fit. Next up we have the Mentant, who is in the B tier. These are human supercomputers that are brilliant analysts, capable of processing data faster than any machine. In Dune Awakening, they act as the battlefield tacticians, information specialists, and the strategic support units. If you're that type of player who enjoys planning, positioning, and always being 10 steps ahead, then this is the class for you. The Mentant's starting ability is the Mark Weakness, which allows them to analyze an enemy and reveal critical vulnerabilities. And once marked, that enemy takes increased damage from all the sources for a short time. This makes Mentants very powerful in team fights as a support, as they can identify and expose high-value targets. Mentants also gain access to battlefield scanning tools, tactical overlays, and tech-based support systems. As you progress, you will unlock abilities that allow you to monitor enemy movement, predict weather changes, hack structures, and deploy quick surveillance drones. The Mentants also shine in both PvP and PvE scouting. They're not frontliners, but they will dictate the pace of combat and make the rest of the team more effective. With the right strategy, a Mentant can turn a losing battle into decisive victory. Then for the next B-tier class we have the Planetologist. His starting ability is the Sand Walk that allows them to move swiftly and silently across the sand without attracting sandworms. This seemingly simple skill is essential in the open world, where stepping wrong can summon a death sentence from the beneath. Freeman survivalists also gain increased resistance to heat, dehydration, and other environmental hazards. As they grow stronger, they will unlock terrain-based abilities, digging traps, summoning desert creatures, or blending with the landscape to ambush enemies. In combat, they're mobile and resilient, using hit-and-run tactics, ranged attacks, and sand-based concealment. In exploration, they are unmatched, able to hide locations, rare resources, and safe paths through the worm-infested territory. If you're interested in exploring the world, gathering resources, and using the nature itself as the weapon, then the Freeman Survivalist will offer one of the most immersive experiences in the game. Next up we have Trooper, who is in the A tier. This is the most cunning class. They're not tied to noble houses or the ancient sects. They only answer to the profit, freedom, and the survival. In gameplay terms, this class is highly versatile, offering a mix of range combat, stealth, trade, and crafting. Smugglers are perfect for players who want to operate outside of the traditional system and forge their own path. Their starting ability, the smoke screen, lets them deploy a screen of vapor that breaks the line of the sight and can either help them escape or set up an ambush. It's a flexible skill useful in both PvP and PvE. Smugglers also gain access to advanced trade routes, rare crafting blueprints and the illicit tech enhancements. As you level up, you can specialize in the black market dealing, vehicle modification, contraband running, or even the sabotage. In a group, smugglers will function as utility player, deploying gadgets, setting traps, or splitting behind the enemy lines to disable defenses. However, if they're solo, they will rely on cunning, stealth, and adaptability. Overall, if you want a class that can dip into the combat, crafting, and survival without being bound by the faction loyalty, then the smuggler is your choice. In my opinion, it is the most sandbox-friendly class in the game. And now finally, we've come to the S tier, and for the one and only, we have the Swordmaster. He is the master of the melee combat. Trained in the way of the Ginaz, they are an elite warriors who rely on precision, agility, and the ability to dominate the battlefield in close range. This class is perfect for players who love to be in the heart of the action. You won't rely on flashy tech or mystical manipulation. However, you will use skill, timing, and the blade. The Swordmaster's starting ability is the deflection, which allows them to deflect projectile attacks and counter with powerful lunges or the finishers. It's a skill that rewards timing and positioning, and is ideal for closing distances against ranged enemies. The Swordmasters are also fast, able to dodge and wave through the enemy lines, which makes them dangerous in both duels and group fights. Later in the game, the Swordmaster can unlock advanced forms of melee combat, incorporating elemental feints and stamina-based combos, as well as enhanced movement abilities that make them hard to pin down. Overall, this class is great for solo players, or those who want to be the frontline warrior in a group setting. You'll need to shape reflexes, but in return get the high damage and a sense of mastery that few other classes can offer. So now let's summarize quickly all of these classes and let's choose which ones are the best for you. With the 5 distinct classes and the ability to change them later in the game, the Dune Awakening will give you a ton of freedom, but your first class choice should reflect how you want to play the early game. Do you want to fight head-on, manipulate from the shadows, or perhaps support allies, or even explore the desert, or profit from the chaos? So choose Swordmaster if you want to master the melee combat and lead from the front, aka do the highest damage possible. Then second, choose Bene Gesserit if you enjoy mind games, control and the elegant duels, aka if you prefer story and decision making over pure fighting. Then next choose Mentant if you love information warfare and strategy. Or in more simple terms, if you want to have multiple options and the preference over crafting and playing the economy, then he's for you. Then next choose the Freeman Survivalist if you want to dominate the desert and live off the land, aka if you're going to survive and you want to mainly explore the world and have the best tools to do so. And finally choose the Smuggler if you prefer independence, stealth and economic power, aka if you want to play solo and still have bunch of stealth options to play sneaky and smart. Of course, remember that classes are not hard limited. As you progress, you can learn from the mentors and unlock hybrid builds that combine best multiple paths. If you want to be a Swordmaster with a Freeman survival skill, or perhaps a Bene Gesserit who doubles in the smuggling, then that's all possible. So just pick your starting class and watch my next videos for the crazy builds that will combine multiple classes for insane gameplay and much more. So let me know what is your favorite Dune Awakening class in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my future videos where I will be exploring the best builds and in-depth guides. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.